Ndeba ekene mono. Ekpere ikpe Nnamdi Kanu tata na court, and here is the outcome. Or much outcome na bo no de kwa ka na ada adeba. A shift to September 14. Mana ihe na-agbagojuzo ndị mmadụ anya bụ a na-atụ anya na Buhari ga-release Nnamdi Kanu before na apụ n'office. But unfortunately, nke shift to 14th September and May 29 ka ga swear in. Kedozi, how far? So, ọpụtaziri no next administration ga-emetopozi ihe dị ya. Gegodi ihe chairman, president Ọhaneze ndị Igbo kwuru ebe a. O kwuru ya n'ihu Osibanjo, n'ihu Opuzodimma, n'ihu ndị APC nọgasị dị ya. O tiri mkpu asị mba n'ihe ekpete na court tata abụrụ ya na Buhari biko ya release Nnamdi Kanu before na leave office ka ọ bụrụgodo ofu mkpụrụ ihe ọ ga-emere ndị Igbo na ayọghị ya ihe too much na over 60 million Igbos worldwide na-eti mkpu na asịsị release Nnamdi Kanu before na apụ n'office.
I'm telling all I was a politician. I have resigned. I'm not in any political party. It doesn't pay anybody to continue criticizing for no just cause. When we praise Hope Uzodimma, we are mentioning specifically what he has done. I think APC, you are lucky to have him. Your campaign is easy. The most difficult thing is for campaign for a governor who have achieved nothing. Hope have achieved a lot. So it is easy for you to campaign for him. Please, finally, our Vice President, tell our brother, our son Buhari, that Ọhaneze ndị Igbo, the over 60 million Igbos request that he should release Nnamdi Kanu. He should release Nnamdi Kanu. Igbos are not seceding. I don't see why anybody should say Igbos are seceding. Igbos are everywhere. We have investments. Are we going to leave our investments? So please, I am passing this message to him because he is my president in Nigeria. But in the Ọhaneze, he has been honored by us and he's a member. So he's my subject there. I am now telling him that Nnamdi Kanu should be released before he departs. We are going to be very grateful. Meanwhile, I want to thank all of you and I wish you all safe journey home.
Looking at Nnamdi Kanu issue from the angle of a British citizen whose human rights may be abused considering the processes of the jurisdiction in Nigeria, I'd like you to quickly react to this, please.
Yes, Vivian, I think the point is not far from what I've explained. It remains that, and let us not forget, in this context, that Nnamdi Kanu is both a Nigerian and, of course, first a Nigerian and then a British. And Nigeria is I would say, dealing with its citizens, more or less. So if the United Kingdom also feels that their citizen is being unfairly treated somewhere in Nigeria, even a British, truly a British, not being a Nigerian, but resides in Nigeria and commits an offense, he will be tried here. Commits any infraction, he will be tried here, whether civil or criminal. He will be tried here, where the offense was allegedly committed. No doubt about that. Now, the human rights component of whatever the travail of Nnamdi Kanu is also does not mean that the Nigerian state as a country and the courts in Nigeria cannot legitimately hear whatever human rights application that is brought before the court by Nnamdi Kanu. Then whether Nnamdi Kanu can, at the same time with his lawyers, institute an action of enforcement of his fundamental rights in the United Kingdom at the same time is what I think for me would be an abuse, really, because the United Kingdom should have inquired whether the fundamental rights action in Nigeria is being heard, is in court. And remember I said, provided it is within and it complies with the standards with the standards widely and generally acceptable, even internationally, and the compass usually is the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. It cannot be, and I disagree, even if the United Kingdom holds so, it cannot be based on the European Union standards of enforcement of rights. Or now that the United Kingdom has left the European Union, it cannot be on the standards of the United Kingdom courts with respect to enforcement of rights. The violation of the rights of Nnamdi Kanu, even if it's of a British citizen, it is here. So is the United Kingdom going to be trying Nigeria if they allege that Nigeria is violating the right of Nnamdi Kanu to whatever, whether it's fair hearing or his right to liberty? Is it that the United Kingdom is going to be trying Nigeria as a state for the violation of the rights of Nnamdi Kanu in the UK? It can't be. It cannot be, except if it were on the Human Rights Committee of the United Nations, which is set up to enforce the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the other instruments of human rights that are universally applicable, and then that are run and regulated by the Office of the High Commissioner of Human Rights in the United Nations. So that where two states, state parties in international relations, international law, the states now are referred as state parties. If the two states are state parties to the United Nations are having an issue with respect to compliance with the provisions of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, then we could have that before the Human Rights Committee under the Office of the High Commissioner of Human Rights. But I wonder whether a court in the United Kingdom will have the appropriate jurisdiction to hear or entertain a matter that another state, another country that is equal in terms of equality of nations to have been alleged to have committed an infraction of the right of their citizens. So that even if the British Prime Minister were to reside in Nigeria today, and the Nigerian state is alleged to be violating the right of that citizen, whether the United Kingdom can try Nigeria in a UK court, I seriously doubt, but maybe it's going to be a research point for me, Vivian.
Please, finally, our Vice President, tell our brother, our son Buhari, that Ohaneze Ndigbo, the over 60 million Igbos request that he should release Nnamdi Kanu. He should release Nnamdi Kanu. Igbos are not seceding. I don't see why anybody should say Igbos are seceding. Igbos are everywhere. We have investments. Are we going to leave our investments? So please, I am passing this message to him because he is my president in Nigeria. But in the Ohaneze, he has been honored by us and he's a member. So he's my subject there. I am now telling him that Nnamdi Kanu should be released before he departs. We are going to be very grateful. Meanwhile, I want to thank all of you and I wish you all safe journey home. Thank you.
Thank you. Key.